Tonight's topic is evaluation in social studies as continuation of assessment and evaluation in social studies. Evaluation in social studies beyond measurement. So exploring the paradigm shift from data gathering to professional judgment, conceptualizing evaluation as a tool for nation building, focusing on the master's level approach to instructional decision making. So we must look beyond the mere collection of scores. Evaluation is the higher order process of assigning meaning to data. Today, we will explore how we use this result to shape not just students, but the future of the Philippine Republic through informed curriculum and instruction evaluation in the process of interpreting assessments results to determine whether intended learning outcomes have been achieved and to make informed decision about instruction, curriculum and student performance. While assessment gathers information, so evaluation uses that information to judge the effectiveness of teaching and learning. In social studies, evaluation examines not only academic achievements, but also the development of critical thinking, responsible citizenship, social awareness, and ethical decision making. Teachers use evaluations results to improve instructional strategies, modify learning activities, and provide appropriate interventions. The core definition of assessment versus evaluation. So, assessment, the act of gathering evidence, for example, the quizzes, essays, portfolios. Evaluation, the act of making judgment, interpreting with a 60% score means for the teacher. Assessment asked what did they do? While evaluation asked what does it mean? In academic discourse, we often conflate these terms. However, as experts, we distinguish assessment as the process of collecting evidence and evaluation as the value judgment we place on that evidence. When you look at the test score, that is assessment. When you decide to reteach a unit because of that score, you have performed an evaluation. Why social studies evaluation is distinct? Multidimensional scope, knowledge, critical thinking, citizenship, and values. And the contextual complexity, evaluating students' stance on sensitive historical and political issues. Integrated outcomes mastery is not just knowing history but living it. Unlike math or science, where answers are often binary, social studies requires a multidimensional lens. We aren't just evaluating if a student knows the date of the EDSA revolution. We are evaluating their ability to discern this information, their empathy for the marginalized, and their commitment to the democratic process. The four pillars of social studies evaluation. Number one, academic achievements, mastery of historical facts and geographical concepts. Critical thinking, ability to analyze the primary source and spot fallacies. Responsible citizenship, active participation in civic life. Values and ethics development of pagkamatao and pagkamabansa. We categorize our evaluative if efforts into four pillars. We must ensure our tools are balanced across these areas. If our students have high academic achievements but fail in the critical thinking, our evaluation should signal a curriculum failure in fostering media literacy. Evaluation in social studies answers three big questions. Did we teach it well? Teacher effectiveness. Did they learn it well? Students' achievement. Well, they live it well. Nation building impact. If our students can recite the three branches of government but sell their votes, then our evaluation says we failed in values formation. That's why the Matatag curriculum evaluation is tied to makadiyos, makatao, makalikasan, makabansa. Okay, question. A teacher observes that 80% of the class can list the branches of government but cannot explain their check and balance function. Is the teacher's decision to change that lesson, plan, an act of assessment or evaluation? Letter A, assessment. B, evaluation. What is your answer? Okay. If the teacher moves from observing the lack of understanding to deciding to change the lesson plan, what is that? The answer is B, evaluation. The observation of the 80% is the assessment. The decision to change instruction is the result of the evaluation. So evaluation in social studies is the mirror assessment shows as the student's output. Evaluation shows our reflection as teachers. It tells us we are not just producing students who know history, but students who will make the history. In the Philippines, that is our ultimate learning outcome. Bayaning Pilipino na may isip, puso at gawa. The evaluation cycle for improvement, gathering data, quizzes, project, and observations. Interpreting evidence, what are the gaps in knowledge or values, making decision, reteaching, remediation, or enrichment, taking action, implementing changes in the classroom. This is the evaluation for improvement cycle promoted by the DepEd and the Matatag curriculum. Evaluation is never a terminal point, it is a feedback loop. Every judgment we make must lead to an action that benefits the learner's journey. Decision point, the evaluation for the students. So identifying individual learning gaps, example struggling with primary source analysis, designing targeted intervention and scaffolding, providing qualitative feedback that moves beyond the numerical grade. Evaluation about the students is highly personalized. When we evaluate a student like Juan who struggles with analysis, we don't just give him a filling grades. We evaluate the data to decide on specific reading strategies or guided practice that will bridge his personal gap. Analyzing class-wide performance to judge teacher effectiveness. Adapting method. Example switching from lecture to role play. Determining the pace and sequence of lesson flow. If 70% of your class fails an essay on the West Philippine Sea, The evaluation isn't just about the students. It's mirror reflecting your instruction. You must decide if your method was too abstract and what and whether a more interactive approach like a debate or a guest speaker is necessary. Checking alignment between learning competencies and outcomes, assessing the relevance of the content to current societal issues, identifying if students are connecting historical facts to current events. On a macro level, we evaluate the curriculum itself. Are the students mastering facts but failing to see the relevance of history? If so, the evaluation tells us to add more inquiry-based activities and local issues to the curriculum design to ensure it remains a living document. Evaluation AP is not for giving grades only. We evaluate to build better citizens. If students can name the three branches but don't respect laws, we failed. If students can map Philippines but don't love Philippines, we failed. Evaluations tells us, are we producing makabansang Pilipino? Question. When a teacher decides to group students into masters for enrichment and novices for remediation based on quarterly exam results, which focus of evaluation is being prioritized? A. Curricular alignment. B. Instructional differentiation. C. Administrative reporting. Think about the logic here. The answer is B. Instructional differentiation. The teacher is using summative data to make an immediate pedagogical decision to meet diverse students' needs simultaneously. Moving beyond right, wrong to levels of proficiency. About the rubrics in social studies. So, evaluating complex performance, debates, simulations, essays, transparency, providing students with a target before the performance. So, this is the example of rubrics in social studies. Rubrics are the gold standard for evaluation in social studies. They allow us to judge nuisance like the depth of an argument or the empathy shown in a debate. Crucially, as master's teachers, we must share these rubrics beforehand to empower students to self-evaluate. Anecdotal records. So the qualitative dimension. So documenting specific behaviors, attitudes, and values, focusing on pagkamatao and pagkamabansa in real time, in real life. Moving from subjective opinions to objective observations. So tests cannot measure everything. Anecdotal records allow us to evaluate character. Did a student defend a classmate's right to speak? That is a data point for criticism. These records provide the evidence for the values formation part of our evaluation. So, another one, steps of evaluating self and peer evaluation, building accountability. Developing metacognitive skills, students judging their own progress. Peer feedback, promoting democratic participation and accountability, aligning self-perception with team reality. In social studies, classroom evaluation should be shared responsibility. When students evaluate themselves and their peers, they are practicing the very democratic skills we teach: accountability, honesty, and constructive criticism. It's about building isip, puso at gawa. Community-based evaluation, the ultimate test. Measuring the real world impact of social studies education. Evaluating students' ability to solve problems. Incorporating feedback from community leaders and stakeholders. The ultimate learning outcome in social studies is not a test score. It is a community impact. Community-based evaluation asks, did a lesson on environmental protection lead to a cleaner barangay? If the community sees no change, our evaluation must reflect a gap between theory and practice. Another question. Which tools is best suited for evaluating a student's empathy and respect for others during a heated classroom debate? A. Multiple choice test. B. Anecdotal record. C. Fact checking worksheet. The correct answer is B. Values like empathy and behavioral and affective. They cannot be captured by a pencil and paper test. They require the teacher's professional observation and recording over time. Quiz analysis and role play. So, 65% of students fail to distinguish the executive from the judicial branch. The lecture method failed to clarify the function differences. Action. Reteach using a mock trial and legislative simulation. Let's look at a concrete example. When the quiz results show a systemic misunderstanding, the evaluation points to a failure of the delivery method by switching to a role play. The teacher addresses the cognitive gap through experiential learning, resulting in higher mastery. Okay, example number 2, community service and critical analysis. Students were active in a cleanup drive but couldn't explain the cause of local flooding. Evaluation. The activity focuses on doing but lack of thinking. Action. Revise the unit to include case studies on urban planning and drainage. Here, the evaluation shows that while the students are good citizens in action, they are not yet informed citizens in thought. Evaluation leads the teacher to integrate more rigorous analytical tasks into the civic project. Example number 3, summative data for grouping. Data: 80% of students mastered Philippine geography. 20% struggled with basic mapping. Evaluation: one size fits all instruction will leave some behind and bore others. Action: implement tour guides projects for the advanced and mapping games for the struggling. In this case, evaluation serves differentiation. By interpreting the summative data, the teacher creates two distinct learning paths, ensuring that the masters are challenged and the novices receive the remediation they need to succeed. Okay, question. Place these steps in the correct evaluative cycle order. Number one, decide to reteach. Number two, observe quiz scores. Number three, analyze why students failed. Four, conduct a role play activity. Okay, letter A, step by steps. 2, 3, 1, 4. The arrangement. Letter B, 1, 2, 3, 4. The correct sequence is A. You gather data. That is 2. Number 2. Interpret, analyze it. That is number 3. Make a decision. That is number 1. And then take the action. That is number 4. This sequence is the hallmark of a reflective practitioner. Example number 4. Anecdotal data and values. So the data, students mock the concerns of fisher folk during a debate. Evaluation. Despite knowing the facts of WPS issue, students lack empathy pagkamatao. Action. Invited a fisher folk leader to share their live experience. This is a powerful example of evaluation in the affective domain. If students are facts rich but empathy poor, our evaluation must trigger a values integration activity. Bringing the human element into the classroom changes the evaluate outcome from the expert to citizen. Example number 5. Peer and evaluation and collaborative citizenship. Data. Peer evaluation show a gap between self-perception and actual teamwork contribution. Evaluation. Students lack the skills for collaborative democracy. Action. Explicit mini lesson on active listening and taking step protocols. When students rate themselves as 4 but their peers rate them at 2, evaluation reveals a lack of self-awareness. This isn't just a grading issue. It's a citizenship issue. The action taken, teaching collaboration skills directly addresses the core goals of social studies. Comparison table, assessment versus evaluation. So assessment focuses on collecting evidence, occurs before, during, after, improves learning through feedback. Evaluation focuses on interpreting evidence after data collection, determines effectiveness and grades. Let's summarize. The difference assessment is the how are they learning part of the journey. Evaluation is they did they make it and was the path effective part. Both are essential, but for master teachers, the evaluation phase is where your expertise truly shines. Rubric design for historical analysis. Criteria, understanding of content, critical thinking value, pagkamabansa, and presentation. Evaluating the ability to connect the EDSA revolution to modern democracy, the focus. Scaling from needs improvement to outstanding. When evaluating historical analysis, your rubric must go beyond accuracy. It must look the critical connection. Can the student link 1986 to today? That's the difference between a student who memorize and a student who understands. Evaluating sovereignty issues like West Philippine Sea, complex performance tasks, position paper and mini forum, criteria accuracy of unclosed facts, analysis of multiple perspective and peaceful resolution values. Outcome moving from emotional bias to evidence bias diplomatic reasoning. For sensitive topics like the West Philippine Sea, our evaluation tools must reward students for considering multiple perspectives. Fisher Fox, government, and international law. We are evaluating their ability to think like diplomats and informed citizens. So the structure of anecdotal record templates, like the date, context. So another question. In the Matatag curriculum, if a student can recite the three branches of government but sells their vote in a school election, what does our evaluation conclude? A. The student has mastered the competency. B. The instruction failed to bridge knowledge and values. C. Assessment was successful but evaluation was unnecessary. The answer is B. If the knowledge doesn't translate to life, our evaluation says we have more work to do. Evaluation in social studies is ultimately about the impact on the student's soul and the nation's future. Self-evaluation training future citizens. Tools, exit slips, and reflection journals. Questions. How did I show pag makabansang pagmakabansa today? And what do I need to improve? Goal. Students who are self-regulating and honest about their growth. When we ask students to rate their own pagkamabansa, we are training them for adulthood. A citizen who can evaluate their own action against a moral and civic standards in the ultimate goal of the Araling Panlipunan curriculum. The impact of evaluation on nation building. Evaluation is a mirror reflecting teacher and student growth. Beyond grades, developing students who will make history, not just know history. Ultimate outcome, a bayaning Pilipino na may isip, puso at gawa. Evaluation is the mirror of our profession. It tells us we are succeeding in our highest mission, nation building. We're not just producing graduates, we are producing the heroes of tomorrow. Our evaluation determines if we are on the right track. Here we are on key takeaways. So, evaluation is a professional judgment. Use diverse tools for a multidimensional subject. Every evaluation must lead to a decision instructional, curricular, or student centered. Values are measurable as facts through the right lenses. As we conclude, remember these 4 points. Your role as master teacher is to be the lead evaluator in your school. You must show your colleagues that evaluation isn't about the red pen. It's about the path forward for every Filipino learner. So evaluation in social studies is the mirror assessment shows as the student's output. Evaluation shows us our reflection. As teachers, it tells us if we are not just producing students who know history, but students who will make the history. In other words, of our closing, evaluation shows us our reflection. It tells us if we are shaping Biyaning Pilipino na may isip, puso at gawa. Thank you for your commitment to excellence in social studies evaluation. Let us go forth and make history. These are the references of my research. Thank you and good evening.